Okay guys, so welcome to the Ads Manager part of the course. And I'm going to show you the first step that you have to do once you are ready to start running your Facebook ads. So here's an account I have to audit. Let's take a look at the default metrics that Meta Ads will give us. So these are the metrics that are as a default for performance, but they're not enough for our advertising efforts. So this is the first step that you must complete before doing anything else. So let's go step by step and build our dashboard with the KPIs that really matter. So you're going to click on here and you're going to click on customize columns, and we're going to delete all of them. So it's going to be way easier to just delete and then add our KPIs from zero. So the first thing we should add is our budget. And that is the first metric. Then we're going to go for a schedule. Then our frequency. So every time you hover over the metrics in question, you will see what they actually mean. So let's just add frequency. Then we'll add start, reach, impressions, amount spent, delivery, CTR, all. And then we're going to add the CTR that really matters, which is outbound CTR. So outbound CTR is the percentage of people that click to your destination. That is your landing page. So CTR includes everything from if someone likes your ad, that counts as a click. So that will be included in the CTR. So what we really want to measure is the outbound CTR, but we still want to see the main CTR. Then we're going to have to add a custom metric that is optional, but I do like to add it. It's called See More. So it will tell you the amount of people that expand on your ad copy just to read all of it. So to add a custom metric, we're going to go here and click on custom, create custom metric, and we're going to name it See More. See More should be a percentage, and the formula is clicks minus link clicks minus post reactions minus post comments minus post shares minus post saves. So we divide that by impressions. And that is our See More metric. So we're gonna name it See More V3. And we're gonna click on create metric. All right, so we're going to add See More. After See More, we're going to add link clicks, and then we're going to add landing page views. Total. After that, we're going to add a new custom metric called page views / clicks. So this is the formula for page views / clicks. So what this metric tells you is how many clicks actually result in a landing page view. So this is important to monitor that your website is working, that your load speed is correct, and also that your traffic is of high quality and is actually interested in your ad. So just do landing page views divided by outbound clicks, name it page views / clicks, and choose a percentage here. I'm not going to save because I already have it, but you should click save. So now we're going to add ad set name. Then we're going to add campaign name, just to guide us when we're browsing ad sets between ad sets and ads. We want to see what we're working on at all time. Then we're going to add cost per link click and cost per landing page view. Then we're going to add our CPM, our attribution setting, just to make extra sure that our ads are following our desired attribution setting. Then we're going to add results, cost per result. Then we're going to add purchase. So total, and we're going to uncheck here. We want all of them reported under a single metric. So that's why I unchecked. And I'm going to add cost per purchase as well. So even if you're optimizing for purchases, then these two metrics will be the same. But I still like to have a clear view of my cost per purchase with that name. So I suggest you add it as well. So I am going now to add ROAS. So it's going to be our total, and we're going to uncheck here because we want to see the complete ROAS. So then we have another custom metric called AOB. AOB is our meta purchase conversion value divided by meta purchases. And we're going to use the currency symbol. Go ahead and add that. Then we're going to add our engagement rate ranking, our conversion rate ranking, and our quality ranking. So then we're going to add a few custom metrics. The first one would be IC/page view. So IC/page view means checkouts initiated divided by landing page views. So we want to see how many people who actually load the landing page begin the checkout process. And this should be a percentage. So we're going to do the same with our purchase event. So it's per page view. So same thing, we just change initiate checkout for purchases, and it's also a percentage. So let's add this one. And then we're going to add another key metric, which is purchase/outbound clicks. So this is our conversion rate in our truest form because Meta sells us clicks. So we want to see out of every click that we pay, how many of those clicks result in a purchase. So this is the truest form. It's purchases divided by link clicks. And the name is PUR/outbound clicks. So we're going to add that as well. So the third metric that we want to add is called our hook rate, which is a creative metric. So your hook rate it means how many scrolls did you stop. This should be at least 30%. So when you have a hook rate above 30%, that means you have a good hook. If it's less than that, then it needs some work. So go ahead and study our creative strategy chapter again. All right, so 3-second video plays divided by impressions. That is our hook rate, and that is the name. So it's also a percentage. And so let's just click here. All right, so now we're going to do a percentage of views. So we want to see how well our creatives are doing. So we're going to do 25%. So that is video plays at 25% divided by your impressions, and name it 25% views. So we're going to add that, and we're going to do the same for 50%. So same thing, just change to 50% here. Video plays at 50%. And we're also going to do 100%, so full video views. That will tell us how good our ads actually are. So our last metric would be add to cart. So the reason why I add to cart is just to see if our events are sending correctly. So you don't want to track add to carts. You just want to track purchases. You should know that if you get 10 add to carts, you'll probably get 5 purchases, unless you have a shipping issue there or something is going on in your checkout. So these metrics, these last two metrics, add to cart and initiate checkout, I use them to monitor how well the funnel is doing. Like if my website is working, if there's something wrong with my checkout, and so on. So that's why they are last, because we don't really care that much about them, but we do want to make sure that they are actually sending the event and our website is working. So that will be all for our dashboard. So we're going to save it as a preset, and we're going to name it Meta Ads Growth Blueprint KPIs. And that's it. Those are the metrics that we're going to be using in our day-to-day. And those are the metrics that really matter. Anything more than this is fluff. So thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, guys, so in this section, I will teach you how to create your Meta ads library. So the thing is that Meta doesn't really give you an option to create your library using their UI. So I'm going to teach you how to create one for yourself. So the first thing we got to do is we're going to click on create. We're going to create a new sales campaign. Here, we're going to name it Ad Pocket. So here, it's important that you select ad set budget. And the rest is fine. You don't have to touch that. So when it comes to the ad set level, you're gonna name it breakthrough ads or my ads or anything. You're gonna write also that these are create ads. More on that later, but it's important that you do that. So here, conversion location, I recommend that you only send people to your website. So we're gonna select website here. And nope, we don't believe that. So performance goals, maximize number, data set. So just use your pixel here. And for conversion event, you're going to choose purchase. We're not going to optimize for any other event unless you're using leads. Most e-commerce will use the purchase event. So purchase or leads, nothing else. And here we're going to do standard attribution. We're going to 7-day click 1 day. So we're going to remove this one here and just keep 7 days and 1 day here, view through. Delivery type standard, budget. Yeah, it doesn't really matter because this campaign will actually never be live. So budget here doesn't really matter. Date doesn't matter. It does when you're running your normal campaigns, but I'll teach you that later. So here, audience, everything's fine. You have to make sure that you have advantage on here, on placements. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to do this just so you know. Here at the ad set level, you're going to switch this one off. And you're going to keep the ad pocket on just so that you can always see it. Because you'll be using this almost every other week or so, depending on your volume. Okay, so the ad set's done. So now we're gonna work on our ad. So at this point, since you completed the creative strategy module, you should have a folder with your creatives, video, and still images. So I'm gonna teach you how to create the ad. So here, what you have to do is make sure that you're using the right page here. For threads, you're gonna use the Instagram account. And if you don't have an Instagram account, you can also use your Facebook page, but I do recommend that you set up an Instagram account. Here, we're going to select manual, and we're going to select single image or video, and we're going to uncheck this part here. So here, you're going to write your landing page. Let's just say your landing page is mylandingpage.com/product. And if this shows up, then you uncheck it. And here I will say none. Okay, so add creative. Let's set up the tracking. Tracking here under URL parameters, you will insert the parameters you want. I'm just using normal UTMs, but you could have, if you're using Triple Whale or something like that, they have their own UTMs. Either way, I'm gonna do a little slide and I'll show you my UTMs. I'm not on Triple Whale, by the way. Most clients are just on Meta, so there's no need for me to use that. So now let's focus on setting up the ad creative. So here we're going to set up creative and we're gonna choose a video ad. So now what we have to do is we have to upload our creatives from your computer. Select all of them. Once the videos have uploaded, we just go ahead and select one. Skip. So make sure that everything here is original. Remember that your videos are on 916, so just pick original. Here we won't do anything. Here we're gonna remove that, leave everything else on except for this one. But as always, like you can always try, and these optimizations, they keep coming all the time. I usually go for what's old and proven. Oh wow, I'm getting a terrible score. We'll fix that. So here we have your primary text, which is your ad copy. I have my copy, so I just copy paste. In the book, I'll show you the exact format you should be following for this ad copy. Under headline, which is here, it's the text you'll see here. I keep this for CTAs, and I will also show you what you should be writing there. So your call to action bottom should be shop now. I'm a shop now guy. Nothing else beats shop now. Unless you're trying to get leads, in such case, you can try learn more. Okay, so for the tracking, I already wrote the UTM parameters. And as always, if you need to use any additional ones, just put them here. Creative enhancements, this is the AI, the like Meta's pushing that. It's kind of tedious because they will always switch them on, but you pick the ones that you want. The only one that you need to make sure is always off is this one, show products, because you want people to be going to your landing page. And okay, so we have this shop now. So description, generally under description, I just put a short guarantee, like 100% money back guarantee or so. It's almost never visible, so it doesn't really matter. But if your CTA here, if your headline is shorter, then it will show. So our ad is pretty much complete. We can ignore this. You can also ignore that. No way. That's just a ton of fake attribution you'll get if you enable that. So you don't want to do it. So our ad is ready. We can go ahead and click publish. So you can ignore this. For now, it's just a new feature. Well, whatever. They just want you to spend more money. So just ignore. And you can name your ad. I usually name them by the hook of the ad. And then if I have various versions there, I'll just put the creator, or for example, say this woman's called Jenny. So we're just going to why more people don't know. That's how this ad opens. And that's pretty much it. So now we click on publish. Just click publish and your whole ad will be finished. And then I'll show you what we have to do next. All right, so now that our ad is published, what we have to do is click on here, and for each creative testing campaign, you should have at least 25 ads, depending on your budget. If you have the optimal budget, then yeah, 25 is the sweet spot. I'm just going to show you how to create additional ads. So if you have the same landing page and the same positioning and everything else is the same, and it should be because you're sending people to your acquisition optimized landing page, then you're just going to go here and click on quick duplicate. What you have to do here is just simply click here on this little trash can thingy. And now you're going to click on add video again, ignore this, and then click on media and pick another video. That's how you do it. So everything else is the same. Check that your desired creative enhancements are checked and the ones you don't want are not checked. So AI agent, no, I don't want that. Anything that will change your landing page or steer you away from your goal, which would be sending people to the landing page we built in module 1, then that is a hard pass. So here's our other ad. Everything else is the same because we're testing a creative. So let's just say that this person here is called Caroline. And that's how you deploy your ads. So you're going to do this as many times as you need. So if you have 25 ads, you're going to do this 25 times. If somebody knows a faster, better way of doing this, then please write me an email or something, because it has always been extremely tedious, but that's just the nature of the game. These are videos. So if we want to do an image ad, like a still ads, such as the ones we already have, then we're going to click on quick duplicate again. And everything else should be the same, but here you're just gonna, when you click on the little trash can thing, you're gonna click on add image, and we're gonna select an image. Remember to ignore. Okay, so this one's perfect. So just select the image. So when it comes to images, it's really, really important that you make sure that you're selecting the original here, because otherwise the next step is going to become quite difficult and annoying. So just select an original and then click next. Everything else should be the same. So when it comes to images, these are a bit different. So for example, they will add music, which we don't want. Overlays, I prefer not to, but you can add them if you want to. I leave everything on basically except enhance CTA and add music. So now that we have our images, we're going to go ahead and click on publish. After you click on publish, just make sure this is still off. You'll never turn this one on. Make sure it's off at all times. So now I'm going to show you a little trick how to leverage social proof by using post IDs. This is not a default Facebook setting. It's a little hacky in a way, but this is really important. One of the first things I take a look at when I'm auditing an account is if the agency or freelancer or whoever is using post IDs. If they're not using post IDs, then it's most likely they are really bad at their job and they don't know what they're doing. So I'm going to teach you this hack, which is extremely important. Okay, so once we have our ad set published, we actually want to refresh the page a few times, maybe give it 5 minutes, and then come back. You're going to want to wait until all of your ads here in the create ads ad set, that is create ads, remember that? You want to wait until they're all in review. Either review or when it's ad set off, it's completely ready. Oh, my opportunity score just jumped to 91. This is just insane. It was at 85 a couple of minutes ago, so you can see how well that's working. So let's just come back when they're all ready to go. Okay, guys, so now I've built my ad set here, and you can see that all of them are under review, so that means we can go ahead and complete the next step. In order for us to be able to quickly deploy the ads and retain the post IDs, meaning that if your ad has 1,000 views and 1,000 comments, you have to do this so that every time you deploy the same ad across different campaigns, that it retains all that engagement, which helps with conversions. So to do this, we're going to do quick duplicate again, original setup, and we're just going to click publish. Okay, so now you're gonna click on rename on the little pencil thingy, and then you're gonna name this post IDs, and you're gonna hit publish. So now we have to wait until the ads are under review again. Now that the ads are ready, you can see it because it says ad set off, but remember, you can also do it when it says review, but the more you wait, the better typically. So give it anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and do try to get the ad set off so we can avoid some of the common mistakes that happen in this step. So to get your ads ready for deployment, what you have to do is select all of them, then click on edit. Before everything, go ahead and copy and paste your UTMs, and then go ahead and do this existing post. We have one error, but good that we got it so I can show you what to do. Here we have to insert the UTM parameters again because you lost them when you switched the ad setup. Let's check this ad. So this happens sometimes. It says something like, to use dynamic creative, you need to choose a product, blah, blah, blah. So that is BS. That's not true. So in this case, what you have to do is simply, you get this number here. You have to just select that and copy it, and then click there where it said enter post ID. Just do it here and paste that same number. And there you go. So make sure you have your UTMs and ignore this for now. And then you can go ahead and click on publish. So it says post IDs. Before deploying, you do need to wait again until the ads are approved or in review, but never touch an ad when it's currently processing. And that'll be also, we're ready to start deploying our ads to our campaigns and start running Facebook ads. So see you in the next section. All right, guys. So summing up, always remember that successful meta advertisers only use one campaign type, sales. Never trust anyone who tells you to build up the funnel with awareness, traffic, or engagement objectives. These objectives only waste your budget by targeting people who engage and visit websites, not people who spend money. In the same way, you should always select purchase as your conversion event. Never select lower funnel events such as view content, add to cart, or initiate checkout. Meta systems target people who do exactly what you're asking for. So, if you ask for traffic that adds items to cart and never buy, Meta will give you just that. You always want to target traffic that buys. So, always select purchase as your conversion event. Now that we got this very important piece of information, I will go ahead and explain the different types of campaigns that we will be using. As of 2025, all meta campaigns fall under the Advantage Plus sales campaign type. ASC in short. When we work with ASC campaigns, we have 4 main settings. 1. Ad Set Optimized, ABO. We use this for scaling and testing. 2. Budget Optimized, or CBO. We use this mainly for scaling. 3. Cost Caps. We use this type of campaign for controlled scaling. And lastly, Bid Caps, for maximum scaling control. It's important to note that Meta doesn't refer to these campaigns explicitly with these terms. So don't worry if you cannot pinpoint these exact options in your Ads Manager dashboard. I will teach you how to create each type in the next section. But before continuing, I will explain each type briefly. Campaign Type 1, Ad Set Optimized, or ABO. What it is. You control the budget for each ad set manually. When to use it. You'll use these in creative testing campaigns and some scaling campaigns where you need different audiences. Why it works for testing. These campaigns have equal budget distribution, and that ensures all ad sets get their own testing budget. Why it works for scaling. Sometimes you need an even distribution on scaling ad sets. Example, when you're using custom audiences, such as lookalike audiences. The advantage, you get complete control over spend allocation between ad sets. The disadvantages, none. Best practice, use ABOs when testing your creatives, audiences, or offers, or when scaling custom audiences. When testing, make sure to give each ad set equal budget allocation. Campaign Type 2, Campaign Budget Optimized, or CBO, now known as Advantage Plus Budget. What it is. Meta distributes your budget across ad sets automatically based on performance. When to use it. Scaling campaigns. Why it works for scaling. Meta's algorithm finds the best performing ad sets and then allocates more budget to winners automatically. The advantage. You don't need to manually adjust budget. Meta does the heavy lifting for you. The disadvantage. You won't have control over ad spend in each audience. Best practice. Use CBO when you have proven winners and want to scale them efficiently across multiple audiences. Only use CBOs for scaling. Never use CBOs for testing. Campaign Type 3, Cost Caps. What it is. You set a maximum cost per conversion and Meta will optimize to stay below that cap. When to use it. Scaling. Cost cap campaigns work for scaling because they aim for your target CAC. The advantage, budget protection. You won't exceed your target cost per acquisition most of the times. The disadvantage. These campaigns may not spend the full budget if your cap is too restricted. They also don't guarantee a target cost. Instead, they rely on average costs. Best practice, set your cost cap 30 to 60% above your current average cost per conversion. And lastly, bid caps. In this type of campaign, you set a maximum bid amount and Meta won't bid higher than your target in any auction. When to use it. Scaling. Bid caps have ultimate control over auction participation. You decide the maximum that you'll pay for any single conversion opportunity. The advantage, precise control over your bidding strategy, prevents Meta from overpaying. Unlike cost caps, bid caps do not average. The disadvantage, can limit reach if your bid cap is too low. This type of campaign requires advanced understanding of auction dynamics. Use bid caps only when you have extensive data on your conversion values. Set your bid cap at about 60% above your target cost per acquisition. Bid caps are my favorite scaling method. Now we have our ad library, so we're ready to build our campaigns and start running ads. So the first campaign that we're going to build is our creative testing campaign, which is the backbone of our Meta advertising effort. So I'm going to head and click on create, and we're going to click on sales. And okay, so we're going to name this TOF as in top of funnel creative test. This is good. This is good. So here you're going to select ad set budget. Okay. So now we're going to the ad set. So for the ad set, we're going to name it creative test July 4, because this is the fourth creative test I've done in July. So you're going to name it 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So conversion location, that's website. Performance goal, maximize number of conversions. We're going to select our pixel and we're going to select our event, which will be purchase most of the time. So under attribution, we're going to remove this one. We're always going to remove this attribution setting, always. So make sure that all of your campaigns have that removed. So for daily budget, we are going to start with 1K a day. So each creative testing campaign has 25 ads for each $1,000 in spend. So if you have $500, then you're going to insert 12 ads. If you have $250, then you're going to insert 6. So you do the math depending on your budget. So here under start date, this is a common mistake I see a lot of people make. So you want to take advantage of the full day. So we're going to start the next day at midnight Pacific time, where the meta servers are. This will ensure that we get the best placement throughout the day. So we're going to keep going down, and here where it says controls, we're going to click on show more controls, and we're going to click here under custom audience exclusions. We're going to exclude all of our buyers, and they'll be Shopify, my Shopify audience. If you have Shopify Plus, you should be using your existing customers plus custom audience. And I'm going to use my Klaviyo audience. So, okay, languages, you don't want to touch that. Placements, you don't want to touch that. So that is pretty much complete. So now you see this new sales ad, you're going to go ahead and delete this one, because we already have our post IDs, and I'm going to teach you how to deploy them. So we are ready to launch this campaign. Let's double check the settings. So website, maximize number of conversions, our pixel is selected, purchase event, no value rules, our budget, start date, our exclusions are set up, and that'll be it. So click on publish. Now, how do we insert ads in there? So this is easy. We're just going to go to our ad pocket where you have your post IDs. So ignore this one. It's an ad set I was building. And we're going to go here. We have 26 ads, so one more than I would want, but it's okay. Here's how you deploy your ads to your campaign to retain the post IDs. So you're going to select your ads here, and you want to order them by name, and you're going to select the first 10. Why? Because if we select more than 10, then this technique won't work. So we're going to look for our creative test and our existing ad set, and we're going to put our ads there. There you go. So we have 10 ads, so we have to go back to our ad pocket, post IDs, and we're going to select the next 10 ads, and we're going to duplicate that into the creative testing campaign. So now we have 20 ads, so we had 26, so we're just going to go and select the last 6. Keep in mind that you want to uncheck these before duplicating. So make sure you're not duplicating anything that you shouldn't be. And we click on duplicate again and insert our ads into our creative testing campaign. And that's it. Let's double check creative testing. That is our ad set. And okay. So now this is a bit annoying, but we have to do it. So we got to check that Meta is actually applying the enhancements we want. So let's just see. So it seems that it is. So, but you do have to double check, because a lot of times when you duplicate ads, then they will mess up with your preferences. So let's just double check that everything is the way we want it. So 4 out of 7. It's an easy way to tell. So 4 out of 7. 4 out of 7. You do have to check each one of them. So, but let's assume that they're good to go. So we're going to click on review and publish. Okay, so our ads are now published and scheduled. So we have our creative testing ad set active. So the way that you test creatives in an ongoing basis is that every time that you have a new creative set, that is either 25 or 12 or 6, depending on your budget. So you should go here, creative test. You're going to duplicate your ad set, original setup, and let's just wait for the duplication here. Okay, we're going to name this one 5 because it's our 5th test. So we're gonna delete all the ads because we're already testing those. So go ahead and delete these. And so what you would do is you would come to your ad pocket again. And let's say that this is a new set. Let's say I have week 2 here. So I would repeat the same process, select my 10 ads and copy them into my new ad set. Just remember that you have to do these in increments of 10. Otherwise, you won't be able to duplicate. So creative, TOF, creative test, and our number 5, and just click on duplicate and repeat until you have up to 25, no more than 25. Now I'm going to teach you this next step that you have to do in order to automate your creative testing efforts. So this is your campaign, right? So you're going to click here, more. You're going to click automated rules, and you're going to create a new rule. First, we're going to create this rule called kill ads. It's going to apply to active ads in one selected campaign. And you're going to turn off ads. So the conditions here would be cost per meta purchase. You got to make sure that it's cost per meta, not cost per result, because otherwise this won't work. So let's say it's greater. So here you put your target CAC minus 130 and remove this one. So if my ads cost of conversion is more than 130, then this rule will immediately switch it off. We have another condition, which would be lifetime spent. So you have to let the ad spend at least 2 times your target CAC. So 260. So that's the first rule. So you're going to click on create, and that will be applied to the campaign. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the second rule, which would be kill ads if they have 0 purchases. So apply rule to active ads in your selected campaign. So you would turn off the ads. So under conditions, you would do meta purchases, not cost, just the actual amount of purchases. So smaller than 1 means no purchases. And your second condition would be spent is greater than your target is 130, so you want to give it a little more room. Let's say that it's 180. I usually add like $50 or something, but it depends on your target budget. Okay, so 180. I know that if an ad spent $180 and has no purchases, then it's very unlikely that it will get my target conversion. So I will switch it off. But you can, of course, be more forgiving with your ads and maybe go as far as 260, which is double CAC. But the sooner I know, the better. So I'm a bit ruthless with the ads. So in this case, you have to do maximum, not last 7 days. You don't want an ad to switch on and then never switch off. 0 purchases, okay. That is our second rule. Now we create our last rule, which would be revive ads, late attribution. Same setting here, active ads under one selected campaign. Switch on the ad in this case. So if we didn't have this rule, then we could have many false positives in the sense that if we get data later than usual, then the rules that kill the ad could kill a good ad with late attribution. So we use this rule to prevent that from happening. So in this case, we would do cost per purchase is smaller than our target. And we click here and we remove this rule. So, okay. And this would be last 7 days. All right. So those are our creative rules. So when you click on view active rules, you'll see all the rules that your campaign is executing. Ignore these 2 for now. So I'll teach you right away. So these are our ad creative rules. So you have kill ads, revive ads, late attribution, and kill ads when they have 0 purchases. These rules will ensure that we're only spending money on ads that work. So as soon as there's an ad that bombs, the campaign will kill it automatically without our interference. So this is how you scale an ad account with good ads. So this will help us simplify that process. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 other rules here called ASC scale and on scale. So let's build them. we're going to go here again. So create a new rule, and we're going to call it ASC, as in Advantage Shopping Campaign Plus Scale. So we're going to apply this to the active ad sets inside the selected campaign. Remember, this is an ABO. So we're going to increase our daily budget by 10%. You can enter a maximum cap here. I usually put $5,000. So frequency should be once daily. And okay, our conditions are simple. So cost per meta purchase is smaller than 130. If it's less than 130, it will scale 10% every day. So as soon as the campaign is profitable, it will spend more. So here we have to specify, so it's the last 2 days, because you don't want to scale out of control. And you could leave this one on, but if your budget is really low, then remove it. But it's okay to leave it. It depends on your CPM. So if you're spending 500 per day and your CPM is 30, then you'll make the rule. So if you're spending less than that, I don't think you should be scaling it, to be honest, but that's for another time. Anyway, so this rule is complete, and we click on create. All right, so then we have to create another rule called ASC plus on-scale. This rule will prevent you from scaling and overspending at the campaign level. So our action would be decrease daily budget by 10%. Minimum, let's say you can't spend less than 500. So it's once daily. And again, it's meta cost per purchase. And it's greater than 130 is our target, right? But if it's 131, I would still want to scale the campaign. So let's give it a little room here and put 135. So same thing here. So last 2 days. And that is complete. So that is it. Our campaigns are completely automated. So the reason why we scale creative testing campaigns is that sometimes we have a banger ad set and it's doing really well. So you don't want to artificially put a limit and say, oh, this is a creative testing campaign and I don't want to scale here. I have to scale in my scaling campaigns. No, that doesn't make sense. You have to take advantage of each single ad set that is doing well. So that's why we scale creative test. So if you have a target budget of, let's say, you want to spend 10K a day, these campaigns can actually get you very far. All right, so that'll be all for our creative testing campaigns. Remember, this is something that you will be doing mostly every week, every 2 weeks, depending on how often you can get fresh new creatives, which should be quite frequently, if you ask me. So now we're going to go ahead and build our scale campaigns. So the first one is going to be just a normal ASC campaign with volume. So we're going to go ahead and click on create ads, and we're going to do sales. We're going to name this ASC TOF ASC scale. All right. So in this case, we're going to leave the campaign budget on, and we're going to set a budget of at least 3 times what our creative testing ad sets are spending. So here we're gonna leave that as is, highest volume or value. And okay, we can move on to our ad set. So in this campaign, you will have a single ad set and you will cycle ads in it. So same here, website, number of conversions, select your pixel. Conversion event should be purchase. No value rules. Attribution, remember, always remove the engaged view attribution. And same as the other campaigns, we're gonna do 3 a.m. Exclusions, we're gonna do the same as we did in our creative testing ad sets, which would be our Klaviyo integration, our Shopify integration, and our Facebook pixel last 180-day buyers. In this case, I'm going to set up the minimum age just because this is how this product works. We have very little customers under 25 years old, so I'm going to just put that there. So you're going to get a bunch of suggested ads. I would say just don't do this and go for the manual creative deployment, which I'll show you. So same as in the creative ad sets, we're going to delete the new sales ad. And we're going to name this after the campaign. Remember, it's only one single ad set, so might as well name it in the same way. Okay, so how do we populate this campaign with ads? first you need to pick your last 30 days of data, and you're going to go to your creative test. You don't need to select in this case because you want all of them. You want to see all your ads. So here we need to basically select all the ads that graduated from creative to scaling. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. First, you need to order by spend, because usually the ads that spend the most are the best performers. So let's see. And yes, this one has 82 purchases at 107, which is below my target of 130. So one rule for this is that you don't want to scale any creative that has less than 20 purchases at your target CAC or lower. So these will be the ads that we're going to use in our scale campaign. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So as you can see, during the last 30 days, I don't have enough creative. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and make an exception and use ads that have less than the desired 20 conversions. Remember, your maximum is 10. So just select your best 10 ads up until here. This one only has 4, but it's quite promising at 68. Now we duplicate TOF scale. Here's our ad set and duplicate. So there we have it. That is our TOF scale campaign. Remember to switch ads. Some of them might be off from their creative testing, but still, it only goes off when it stops performing in that ad set. So you want to switch it on. All right, so that is your creative testing campaign. We can actually get more ads. We have 5 more, so we can go really, really way back and do, let's say, the last 6 months. I only need 5 creatives, so it's a bit of a stretch, but just to show you. Okay, so this one spent 80K, this one spent 82K, this one spent 62K. So these are quite good. And I haven't tested them in at scale, so I'm gonna go ahead and use these as well. So my top 5 here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them here in my scale campaign. Okay, so sometimes this happens. Sometimes you can't deploy across campaigns. For example, let's see what's the problem here. So let's see if we can duplicate this one. Yeah, these two are not the problem. So let's just go ahead and do this as normal. Just simple duplication. And then let's go back and see which ad is not allowing us to copy. Let's see this one. Okay, so this is the one not allowing us. So in this case, what you gotta do is click on edit. You're gonna grab the post ID here. So you're going to do this now and duplicate any of your ads. And this is existing ad set. And you're gonna go here to enter post ID, and you're going to enter your post ID. And that's it. We got the ad we wanted. So now we have to rename it to the correct name. So it should be this one. Yeah, that's the one. Cool. So we need 2 more. How about this one? No, I don't like the CAC here. This one and this one. This one is okay. It wants to copy. And I think the other one will have to do it the not so quick way. So it was this one. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab the post ID. Hopefully you'll be able to duplicate all of your ads and never have to do this, but when it happens, then you know what to do. So we're gonna do this again, and that is no. And enter the post ID again. And there we have it. Let's copy the name. It's here. And there you go. Okay, so now I'm ready to publish my ads. But before we do that, So basically, if I just hit publish, my scale ASC is already complete, but I'm going to show you the other types of scaling as well. Our next type of campaign would be the value ASC. So to do that, you would simply duplicate this one. Before actually launching it, we're going to rename it scale value. And we can rename this one volume. So edit and scale. It's also called value. So to make it a value campaign, what you have to do is here under performance goal, you simply have to select this one, this conversion goal. Maximize value of conversions. And conversion event would be purchase. So I suggest that you don't set a ROAS goal. If it's the first one, it's actually not even letting me to do so. So that's it. That is your value campaign. It's already done. All right, so why do we have more than one type of scale campaign? So the thing is that sometimes one of these will scale while the other one won't. So you want to test as many scale campaigns as possible so you can scale the best one. So what is the next type of campaign? Next one would be cost cap. Cost cap is simply you tell Facebook your desired cost per conversion, and Facebook will, let's say it's 100. So Facebook will get you some conversions for $75, then it'll get you some conversions for 90, then it will get you some conversions for, I don't know, 110. So in the end, your average will be around 100. So that is your cost cap. It's different from bid cap, but I'll show you that later. So to create your cost cap campaign, you simply have to duplicate here. So there's a setting you have to change here and under bid strategy at the campaign level, but first let's rename it cost cap. So here you would have to change it to cost per result goal, and that's it. Your campaign is now a cost cap. So what you got to do is you have to come here, and where it says cost per result goal, you're going to enter your goal. So if my target is 130, it should be at least 60% more. So let's do 210, something like that. And okay, so here's how this works. If the campaign doesn't spend any money, it's because my cost per goal is not going to work. So I would have to adjust it. So you want to find the sweet spot so you get your actual target. So just for your information, cost caps are my least favorite way of scaling. Want to know why? Because I'm going to show you then my favorite way of scaling, which are the bid caps. So to create your bid cap campaign, you would have to do the same thing and scale bid cap. What you got to do to make it a bid cap would be select under campaign bid strategy. You're going to go and select bid cap. So what's the difference between cost and bid cap? Bid cap will target the price that you give the system. It won't average. So if you give a bid cap a value of, let's say, 200, the bid cap is going to get you 200. I mean, hopefully. Sometimes it will get you more, sometimes it will get you less, but it is the most precise way of scaling and controlling your costs. So same as the bid cap, we're going to do 210 is too high for me. So I would start with 190, let's say. So my target is 130. But if I put 130 here, it will never work. Why? I've tested before. It will never work. Bid caps usually work at 1.6 times what your target is, and the results are quite good. So as a starting point, go at least 60% more than your target. So I'm going to show you a little trick here so you can unlock the true power of bid caps. So you see here where it says daily budget. It's in principle our budget. We have 3K to spend on this campaign, but I'm going to add a 0 here and I have 30K. Why? Because I want to bypass the system. I want to tell Facebook that I'm willing to pay 30K a day. So it gets me the best possible traffic. So you might be wondering, okay, so I'm going to spend 30K a day. No, because we're going to do this. We're going to set a spending limit here. So ad set spending limit. So my actual limit, I want to spend 3K per day. So I'll enter it here under daily maximum. Campaign budget is higher than maximum spend limit. Yeah, I don't care. That's exactly what I want. So there you have it. Our bid cap campaign is up and running. So what about the number of creatives? So volume and value and cost cap, you can leave 15. So in bid cap, I would pick the best 5. I don't like running more than 5 ads per bid cap campaign at a time. Of course, with the new updates, then it might work better if you use 10 or even up to 15, but I would say that for guaranteed results, keep it at 5. One last step here. So now our volume, value, and cost cap, they have our scaling campaigns. So what about the creative testing campaigns? Well, I have bad news for you. Since these campaigns are CBOs, and CBOs means campaign budget optimized. So the thing is that CBOs can't have those creative rules. So these campaigns you have to monitor manually. So you have to take a look at them every day and switch off creatives that are not performing according to your target. So that is the only bad thing about scaling, that it requires more manual work. Maybe in the future, Facebook will update this and we will be able to automate creatives within a CBO. But for now, that's it. So now you have all of your creative testing and scaling campaigns for top of funnel. So remember that we use Meta as a source for new customer acquisition. So I don't really recommend that you use Meta as a source to reconvert customers. You should leave that to email, SMS, direct mail, and other channels. I don't think you should be paying Meta to reconvert customers that you already acquired. So what I do here is that I do run an evergreen bottom of funnel campaign advertising high AOV opportunities such as subscriptions, bundles, and so on. So I'm going to teach you how to build a middle funnel / bottom funnel campaign, but for that, I'll go to another account. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and build our retargeting campaign. Same thing, sales. Okay, we're going to name it MOF plus BOF. That's middle funnel plus bottom of funnel 2025. All right, so this works. So ad set budget. Okay, all good. And we're going to name it MOF plus BOF / bucket, because that's the product I am selling. So here, conversion location, that's single, website, maximize number of conversions, data set, that's my pixel, and my event is purchase. Okay. And my daily budget, let's say that it's at least 10% of my daily budget. So I'm spending around 3K on this account. So I'm going to do 300. It starts tomorrow. This account is in Pacific time, so I'll do 12 a.m. Audience. Okay, so here we have to work with the custom audiences only. And we're going to click on limit the reach, and we're going to say switch. So custom audiences, we are going to include all of our engaged audiences. So in this particular campaign, I want to target my previous buyers. So I'm going to use my Shopify Plus audience, and I'm going to use my Klaviyo list, but I'm also going to use my pixel purchases. So placements, that's automatic placements. And in this case, Advantage Plus will be off because we only want to target these people, our buyers. Okay, that's it. So this is our ad set, and we're going to click on delete as always. And this is actually BOF because I'm going to create another one for MOF, which is middle funnel. So let me just do that right away. All right, MOF bucket. And I am going to change the audience to my MOF audience, middle funnel. So everyone who has engaged but has not bought already. So we're going to do last 30 web viewers, Facebook engagers, Instagram engagers, initiate checkout, add to cart. I have some audiences here from our influencer partners, so I'm going to tap into that as well. Those are Instagram audiences, by the way. So that's it. In this case, we have to exclude the buyers because we're already targeting them here in BOF. So let's remove those. And that's it. Exclude, include, okay, this is okay. And what else? Oh, you know what I forgot? Our attribution. Yeah, of course they're gonna sneak in the video. All right, so we removed that. We don't want any of that. That little setting right there is terrible. Okay, cool. So now our ad sets are narrow, which is fine. We are going to split it. We're gonna put 200 here. Okay, so I have my ads ready for this. I'll just go to Ad Pocket and I have my bucket ads. Yeah, I'm selling a bucket. I can tell you what it is exactly, but it's a bucket of something. So how many ads do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is fine. Up to 10 is okay in these retargeting campaigns. As long as it's not a CBO, anything from 10, 15 is okay. And remember, for creative testing, we do 25. So MOF BOF 2025. And we're going to add the same thing to both ad sets. I want to see how that offer works with those audiences. All right, so duplicate. And as always, let's check the Advantage Plus settings. And okay, so they didn't put any of them here, but I'll try something because sometimes you can actually edit them all at once. Oh yeah, I got it. This is like on an account basis. In some accounts this works, in some others it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So expand video and improvements. Okay. Save to draft. Either way, once they're published, we're gonna check that everything is okay. So there's an error there. Should be on the 19th. And 12 Pacific. Okay. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna hit publish. Okay, so our campaign is published. So now we're gonna check if the ads have the Advantage Plus creative settings we want. So no, they don't. This is why you always have to check. So in this case, we want text improvements, visual touch-ups. Yeah, you see they appear, disappear. This is just like how meta works. So gotta be patient. Okay, so now we have 4 out of 6. So we have to do this 13 more times because we have 14 ads. So let's just do it patiently. I never show products because I send people to the landing page I want to send. I don't want Meta like setting up a random product in there and advertising something that I don't want to. So that's why it's always off. Okay. It's adding a promo code, like a promo code I never intended to use. So you gotta check that this wonderful system is not adding stuff that you don't want to. So you always have to double check everything once your ad is published. So, okay, no weird stuff, no calls, no anything. By the way, if someone knows how to upload these ads without any of this crap, shoot me an email and let me know how. Because it's been like this forever. Anyway, small price to pay for using a platform to grow a lot of businesses from 0 to up to 7 figures monthly. So not a bad deal. All right, so I think we're good to go. So 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6, 4 out of 6. When I say 4 out of 6, remember it's this thing here. Okay, cool. So publish. And that's it. Our retargeting campaign is done. So there's no automation there since the budget is really small. I just take a look at the ads every day or so and adjust manually. Okay, here's my campaign. Okay, good. So that concludes the retargeting section. So in the next section, I am going to show you a slide of the campaign structure you should be running on Meta for maximum success. So see you there. So summing up, here's our complete campaign structure. We have our ad pocket, our creative testing campaign, our retargeting infrastructure, and we have our scaling campaigns. So our ad pocket is our creative library and our way to build post IDs for ease of deployment and social proof preservation. Our creative testing campaign is where we identify winning creatives so that we can move them to our scaling campaigns. So our scaling infrastructure is a set of 4 campaigns. So remember that you have to test each one of them and see which one works best for your account. We have 4 types. So I'm just going to leave it on the screen so you can read. So we have ASC Volume and ASC Value. So feel free to pause so you can refresh. Now we have our cost cap campaign and our bid cap campaign. So finally, we have our retargeting infrastructure, which is our middle funnel ad set and our bottom of funnel ad set. Okay guys, so in this next section, I am going to teach you what you have to do to manage your account on a day-to-day basis. So let's just go over one of my accounts here, and I'll just show you what I would do on a normal day to make sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible and that I am making money. So the first thing, you already know that bid cap campaigns, you can't really automate the creative. So what I would do here is simply check my bid cap and take a look at my ads. So as you can see, all of my ads are under my target, which is 130 for this account. So I will not do anything here, luckily. So as you can see, I had these 2 in the last 7 days. These are above target, so I switched them off. You're going to do that with every CBO campaign, meaning every campaign that you can see the budget here, that's a CBO. All your scale campaigns are CBO. So yeah, you have to monitor those manually. So this one's new, so I still don't have any data, but I would come here and check my performance over the last 7 days. So anything that is above target, I would switch off. And I would also switch on if they're below target after a couple of days due to delayed attribution. So that's it. So the second thing you have to do on a weekly basis would be sourcing more creatives and adding them to your creative testing assets, because you feed all of your scale campaigns from your creatives. So what you would do here, just normally every time that you see that an ad hits our target of 20 conversions at target CPA, then you would go ahead and copy that ad to a scale campaign in the same way that I showed you. So for example, this one, 112. If it had 20 purchases and add 112, I would go ahead and duplicate this one into any or all of my scale campaigns. So let's say scale value, existing ad set, and I would copy that, but I'm not going to do it because I still don't have enough conversion. Let's check over the last 30 days. Let's see if we have something, or last, I don't know, 47 days or so. This same ad set is quite new, so no, we don't have anything that we can scale confidently. So we have to let it run. So that's what we do on the creative side. So then we would go to our middle funnel, bottom funnel campaigns, and we would see what's going on here as well. So in this case, we look at the target ROAS. I think anything above 10 is great. So, well, this one was off. I switched it off somehow, but oh, wait, we need to go back to the last 7 days. All right, so they're good. Let's see this month, because this one is off, but let's see why. 11. Let's see, last week of June. 11. Yeah, it's okay. It's basically the same ad, so let's just leave these 2 on. And let's see, last 30 days. Okay. These are doing quite well. This one, not so much. At that CAC, but still, it's 2 ROAS for, given that my target for new audiences is 130, this one has 115, and this ad set is targeting middle funnel. So social engagers, web visitors, add to cart, initiate checkout. So it's a good one. Okay, so we have one last campaign, but this one is automated. So we don't really have to do anything. Just feed more ads to this one. Let's see how many ads it has. Okay, so 5. I'm good. Anywhere from 5 to 15 is good. If you only have 1 ad, then you better test some creatives and hopefully they'll work so you can continue to feed your scaling campaigns. That's what I do on a daily basis when reviewing an ad account, and that's what you should be doing as well. So I hope that helped, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, so the last section of the ad buying part of the course. So let's say that you are starting an ad account with zero data. You studied my course, you have some creative, and you're ready to start testing. Where do you start? Do you start with a creative test? Not necessarily. Why? Because your account has zero data. So what we would do in this case is called a pixel training campaign. And no, we are not going to optimize for view content and add to cart. No, that is BS. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a TOF interest campaign. So what you'll do with this one is simply website, same data set, your pixel, purchases, attribution, remember. Okay, so start 12. In this case, it's Eastern time, so 3 a.m. Under audience, we are going to click here, further limit the reach of our ads. So we're going to switch setup and we are going to click here on detailed targeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the most relevant interest for our audience. So let's say we're selling meat. So let's say Wagyu. All right, so that's one interest. So we're not going to touch anything else, just location, age, gender. You can leave that unless like it's a really obvious product for a particular gender. So we're going to do just Wagyu, right? So we're going to name this ad set int Wagyu, right? Delete this. Okay, the budget. So this depends on your ad set budget. So, okay, so we're gonna do, let's say $100. Let's say you have $500 a day to spend. So you're gonna do 5 ad sets and you're gonna do $100 here and duplicate original setup. So we have another one and we're gonna select another interest. So let's say cooking. Or actually, you can use some of the Facebook suggestions. As soon as you put one, then it will give you some others. So you typically want to go for the broadest interest. So beef, this is a good one. And we're going to name it beef. All right, so then we're going to do another one. Let's see, what else do we got here? Grilling. Good. This is a good one. So always remember to remove the previous one when you duplicate. And okay, so grilling. And then we're going to do another one. And we're going to see what we can get here. Barbecue. It's pretty wide, so yeah, for sure. Barbecue. And then we're going to do another one. Original. And we are going to select steakhouse. So you have a target CAC in mind. So then you're going to go to your ad pocket, your latest creatives, let's say here. You're gonna copy those to just 10 and you're gonna do this interest campaign, ad sets, add to all. All right. So that is your first meta campaign. So if you've never done something like this, even if you have a ton of data, I would suggest that you do this. Who knows who had your account all this time? Maybe they had no clue on how to run meta. If they never did this, then it's pretty likely that your targeting is off. So this is the first thing I would do after finishing the course when I'm ready, when I have my new creative, my ad pocket, before proceeding with the creative testing and so on. Before open targeting, which is what we have done so far, you have to do this. So what you're going to do here is you're going to run your ads and you're going to see on a daily basis. So let's say that steakhouse gives us a cost per result CAC of 50 and grilling gives us a cost per result of 200. And let's say that barbecue is 70 and beef is 30 and Wagyu is, I don't know, 67. You're going to kill the one with the highest cost and you're going to replace it. You're going to go ahead and copy it again. And you're going to find a new interest. So you're going to do this until you have at least 50 conversions. And then you can move on to the creative testing because now you will have an idea of your acquisition cost. And from there, you can improve and you can also scale. So let me just build a new one just to show you. So this one was a bad ad set. Grilling didn't work. So we're gonna find, you can actually see the ones that I used when I started with this account like years ago. All the interest with G that I tested. And if we do int, you can see all the interest. Yeah, bunch of them. Anyway, we're going to test another interest. Let's see what are suggestions. You can try a wild one like gourmet. You can see I already tried it when I was training this account. And cool. That is how you make an account learn. So when you open an ad account, some people will tell you, yeah, broad targeting. No, broad targeting works when you have data. If it's a new account or a badly managed account, retargeting is not going to work. It's just going to waste a lot of your money. So if your agency started doing targeting from the get-go, they suck. So now you know. So yeah, this is the first thing you have to do after finishing this course, if you haven't done it already. So yeah, that will be all. And I hope that you enjoyed everything we've seen today, and best of luck. And remember, if you have a question, join my Slack group. I'm always there and happy to help. So bye, take care.